So I know I said I was not gonna make any more videos, for a little while, but I get so much time on your hands when it's the holidays and your kids aren't going to school, and all I have to do is time to create. So why not? Why not make another video? So I figured I'd speak my mind today, right? I mean, why not? Feel empowered. Um, so the we're going through a big energetic shift right now in the marketplace, and you can kind of see it. It's happening at the holiday season. I'm getting input from people are kind of self healing and just doing what they love, and I'd like to see it, especially on LinkedIn. People are getting creative and just putting their creative content out there instead of trying to sell something. So that's the lie, right? Is the feeling like we need to sell ourselves. And the problem with that, and of course I've put that in other videos here, is that when you're selling a service to someone, you're technically putting them in a lower energetic state than you are, right? You're siphoning energy from them, and there's no mutual shared talents, because all of us have amazing talents that we can share for each other. But when you're not providing for each other, then and you could argue, well, yeah, but in a monetary situation, I'm providing money and you're providing this, but you're not actually, when you do that, you're not creating a relationship. So you're not creating a relationship with the person. All you're doing is just handing them money, they're doing something, and then they walk away. It's like, why would you do that, right? Life is about creating relationships in your community and your personal relationships. And so, like I've said before, COVID brought all this reality where people started moving away from businesses because they started getting too dysfunctional. People were trying to control each other, and then none of them were co-creative. You could argue that they were, but they were very dysfunctional co-creative. I haven't seen any big organizations that are co-creative, like fully functioning co-creative, where people go to work every day and they're like, hey, what are we going to build today together, right? It's always you have to answer to somebody, and whenever it's like that, then it just turns toxic. So you can be individually creative or group creative. Now society has forced individual creativity and small group creativity. Let's say you've got a band. But all of us have even seen examples where bands have gotten dysfunctional because they start to fight over how much money that each one's making, right? Or one of the band members, falls into severe alcoholism or drug addiction, and so it brings toxicity to the band, and they got to push them out, and stuff like that happens just because of money. Because you're not, soon as if you're only working towards money, you end up isolating yourself. It gives you the ability to isolate yourself, and you don't have to be of service to the people around you. And that power of your own freedom creates toxicity. Now you're not responsible for the people around you anymore when you have too much money. That's the toxicity that happens in this world. And so you see that toxicity develop in many different ways. I mean, people buy their own islands, for God's sakes, right? The hardest thing it is to teach children is to teach them to share, right? And if you give a child too much power, they don't want to share. They want everything for themselves. And so they want more and more and more for themselves. And so it creates this huge imbalance. And it's all because of money. It creates this delusion of the mind where we're interconnected, and then we stop lifting each other up and valuing each other for our own special talents and abilities. Excuse me. So there is a big energetic shift happening, because if you think about what happens in our society, what is being created? You got some cars that are being created. But how many people does it take to build that car? And how many, is it a mutually shared idea between everybody that's helping to build that car? No, right? Definitely not. Any one thing, you can point at any one thing like that. And usually it takes a lot of people to create that. and market that, but they have to market it because of money. And so half of the organization isn't, a lot of times it's not naturally attracting, the body, that organization isn't breathing healthily because of that. So I encourage all of you to breathe healthily. Start a YouTube channel, write a book, start a creative project. And if you need help, and I am going to need help with my next creative project, ask for help. Ask to see how many people would like to be involved, right? And just be open, because we're moving from feeding off of each other to co-creation. And that's what's going to bring peace. I mean, that's what really creates shared wealth with everybody, right? When you have co-creation, we could create a community that's co-creating that community. And they don't feel obligated. I mean, I've heard arguments against this, and people say, well, there's still a bunch of stuff that nobody wants to do. And that may be true, but I would say that most of the time that's not true, because, and I've been in a lot of work environments, there's usually a lot of tasks that need to be done that most people don't like to do. But if you share those tasks, most of the time, everybody's willing to share a little bit of time to do each one of those tasks. Whether it's, cleaning the toilets, or whatever. You can share those tasks, and then nobody has to spend too much time on it. But every once in a while, there's somebody that actually likes to do that stuff because they like to make sure that it's cleaned the right way. And I've met people that actually they would love to just be a support member of that society and do that specific tasks. So I don't really think that's a valid argument. I've heard that argument before, and it just doesn't weigh in. Not only that, but we're getting to an age of technology where, for one thing, just the mere fact of this is all about the controlling of energy. And every time you try to control someone else's energy, you create waste. And so we create so much waste in this society because of that when we start co-creating and we stop trying to control one another and just honor each other and say, hey, what do you want to do? I would love to do this. Or just whatever it is that you're asked to do. Because I love to do what people ask me to do. I always have. And that way, from a karmic standpoint, when I ask somebody, then they usually say, yeah, I'll do that for you. Because there's nothing that I wouldn't do for you as long as you treat me the same way. But you're wasting your time, right? If you're always doing things for people that'll never do anything for you. I've been blessed to have my friends pretty much will do whatever I ask them to, generally speaking, because they know that all they got to do is ask me. I'll do whatever you want, right? Life is simple that way. And that way you're always supported, right? When you're just in that dance of life and give and take, and then whatever you want to experience. And so you're always balancing, I'm always balancing my creative energy, trying to heal from the society, right? It's a struggle to heal from the society that just wants to pull from you instead of just, it is what it is. But that's where we're going. So I encourage anybody watching this video to do your best to just get into your creative energy. What it is you want to create. You can create anything you want, right? You're amazing. You're not less than anybody else. So, part of one of my projects is because I really would like to see people that are born in situations where to help them, for one thing, honor themselves and value themselves and help them grow from the inside out, let them blossom their own talents and abilities of whatever it is they want to do. What could be more amazing than that? Because when you're following money, you're not really doing that. You're managing it. You're, and all of us kind of have to do that anyway, but you're working for somebody else's creation. You're always working for somebody else's creation when you go to work for somebody else. And so co-creative projects and individual creative projects are where all of us are going. So let's pull some cards. Well, I'm not going to pull cards today. I just want to get on here, make a speak my mind video, right? Don't ever follow the money. Figure out what it is that you do for other people and then lift them up. and then be open to receive. If they're very thankful and say, hey, look, I'd love to give you something because you've helped me in some way, then be open to receiving. And that nothing could be possible. Nothing's better than that, right? When somebody is able to do that for you. So, yeah. Love you guys, and I'll catch you later.